Hello students, today I will introduce you coordinate geometry. Don't worry whether it is belong to 10th class, 11th class or 9th class like that. It's an introduction. So anybody, whoever is in mathematics must learn coordinate geometry. Don't try to segregate into any particular class. So introduction to coordinate geometry. I just written 1000 problems. More than that also we can do or less than that also we can do. But we are interested in the approach. So always my word from my mouth, one word will be coming with this called approach. How you are dealing that chapter, that is more important. Doing how many problems you are doing is not important. When I was a beginner in 2001, we just passed my MSc out, I used to go into a bookstall and I used to take the most bulky book which is having more solved problems. That's not true. After solving many problems, we understand that there are few basics. Concepts are finite, problems are infinite. So for a student, those who is listening this lecture may be interested in learning 1000 problems, but actually he learns a few concepts. So how the scientist who has, or the physicist or mathematician who has started this chapter was thought of, and what kind of minimum learning goals he wanted to achieve from the learners, that is important to us. So okay, the first target is from one particular point I want to say Charminar. In Hyderabad it is famous. So I stand near Charminar at 5 meters away. Then I can be here, I can be here, I can be here, I can be here. So by telling a single coordinate 5 centimeters or 5 meters or 5 kilometers, it's not sufficient to pinpointedly know where the person lies. That particular coordinate, on Earth also we have latitudes and longitudes. So whenever you wanted to see the geographic position of a person, they will give both the latitude as well as longitude, the crossing point. Latitude is so long that total Earth it spans. Longitude also spans total Earth. But when they meet at a specific point. So like that only, in coordinate geometry, we have to locate that specific point. For that purpose, we draw two mutually perpendicular lines. This angle should be 90 degrees everywhere. One axis we call x-axis, one axis we call y-axis. In future we will get third axis, that's called z-axis. Presently we don't require, we are doing plain coordinate geometry. Once you write one side plus, you are not supposed to take other side plus, automatically it becomes minus. Similarly, if once you take upward plus, obviously automatically it will become minus. So in that way, once we have written x-axis, y-axis, we have also written minus y-axis and minus x-axis, opposite to that. Now this is over. The third point what you need to understand is, suppose you have a specific point here, and wherever x-axis, y-axis cut, that point we name it as origin and we write 0, 0. That point we call it as, that means x value is 0 on that, y value is 0 on that. That is our starting point, like that we mentioned it. So this is x-axis, positive x-axis, obviously opposite is negative x-axis. Y-axis, opposite should be minus y, opposite should be minus x. In that way we kept. Now I tell this point is at a distance 5 meters perpendicular to y-axis or along x-axis, because this is also x, this is also x. That kind of a value which is measured from y-axis, this line which is parallel to x-axis, that much distance, perpendicular distance, this angle is 90 degrees. Instead of measuring from origin, we measure from one line. So perpendicular distance from one line. Which line? Y-axis. That is the x-coordinate. So this is your phi, which is the x-coordinate. Let us make this 6 otherwise. So x-coordinate is phi, and this distance whatever is there, which are not measured from a point, we are measured from a line, that too perpendicularly. That is called abscissa. Similarly, this length, if at all it is 6 centimeters, it is 6, you write it. That is parallel to y-axis. That is nothing but y distance measured from x-axis. See, we have line like this. This is x-axis. So any line parallel to this is x-coordinate. That you will measure it from y-axis, not from origin. So that distance, perpendicular distance is abscissa, and perpendicular distance from x-axis, what we call it as y-coordinate. I repeat, you may got little confusion in the beginning, try to avoid it. X-coordinate we measure from y-axis, y-coordinate we measure from x-axis. This is x-axis, this is y-axis. This kind of coordinates, whatever you measure this side or this side, they are x-coordinates. The coordinates you measure in this way are y-coordinates. X coordinates are measured from y axis and that coordinate is called abscissa. Y coordinates are measured from x axis and that coordinate is called ordinate. This nomenclature is not of much use for us, but once you understand this, what is abscissa? That is, point is not single word to us. For us it is 2. In future in 3 dimensions it becomes 3. So you have to tell like this, 5, 6 is my point. 5, 6 is my point. So with one example it may not be sufficient for you to understand it. I ask whoever is seeing this video to draw a 10 by 10 square. You may say that, sir, I have a graph paper. Please don't use graph paper, you draw it for the first time. Next time onwards you can use graph paper. So take 10 by 10 square, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After 5, whatever line you get it, you take it little bigger like this and write it as y axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This you call it as x axis. That means I made it into 4 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. I make it more clear, I make it more darker. So this is where my x-axis and y-axis is meeting. So this point I call origin. You can see it is not compulsory that you have to make it meet here. You can make it here, you can make it here. But only thing is the person who is drawing, he may not be able to, you may get confused by seeing the video where to cut it. So I am giving equal portions. So this is negative y. This is negative x. So our story starts now. 1000 problems, just casually I am saying. So I want to identify some points. So A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D is 2, 2, 3, 5, 7, 9. Okay, we have only 5 units. No, you should take everything between 5. So 5, 1, 0, 5. E point also will write it. It is 2, 0. So these points we want to write it. So first let us write point A where it is. It is 2, 2. We have taken the point. We have arbitrarily taken 2, 2. So we have to measure 2. First 2 as parallel to x-axis from y-axis. So this is this length. This is 2 units here. So this is 2 units here. 1, 2, 1, 2. So this is your point A. If you want, you can even write this here 2, 2. Next B, 3, 5. X should be 3 units, Y should be 5 units. So move along X. 1, 2, 3 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is your point B. And this is to be named as 3, 5. See, you may say a problem means it should be very lengthy, 1 hour it should take. No, not like that. Just I am telling you how to identify. This is also your brain continuously thinking. That's a problem there. 5, 1. C is 5, 1. You should go 5 units along x-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Along the y-axis you have to go 1 unit here. So this is your point C. That is 5, 1. What is point D? 0, 5. X-wise you don't need to travel anything because it is 0. Y you have to travel 5 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This point is your D. 0, 5. This one. Now I want point E, which is 2, 0. X-axis you have to travel 2, y-axis don't need to travel. So from here I am starting, this is our origin, 1, 2. This is my point, I don't need to travel along y-axis. So it is E, that is 2, 0. Now like this, here itself you can make 1000 questions, but it's not required. One concept is told. So how to write many more points means here you have a point, here you have a point, here you have everywhere, even in between also. This can be written as, suppose in between, exactly in the middle I write 1 unit 1.5, 1 unit 1.5. So this should be 1.5, 1.5. If you have a graph paper, then along with the centimeter squares you also have millimeter squares. So you have so many points which you can identify and every point is unique. So once you write one value, you cannot have, for that value you cannot have other point. For example, A is 2, 2, you cannot have another 2, 2 here. So student may ask, sir, this length and whenever you come here, this length is same. No sir, what about that? Then if this is A, this is not A then. Left side you came, so it is minus 2, which is x-axis you travel negatively and y you travel positively, 2. That is not A, that is some other point. A, B, C, D is or F for this. 2, minus 2 or minus 2, 2. Similarly, G, 2 comma minus 2, h, minus 2 comma minus 2, if you want points like that. So come 2 units like this, left side, come 2 units down. So this is, you came left, you came down. So left is minus 2, down is minus 2. Left is minus 2 of x, down is minus 2 of y. So this point, minus 2 comma minus 2, this point should be h then. This point should be f then. Now what about g? X should be positive, y should be negative. So you go 1, 2, x positive, y negative. 1, 2. This point is your g, that is minus 2 comma minus 2. Sorry, not minus 2. 2 comma minus 2. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z, all the points, 26 points, you can plot it. For the first time when you are doing, you yourself write A, B, C, D like that, you take yourself the points, but see that values don't cross 5, 5, because the table, the square what you have taken, 5 units right side, 5 units left side, 5 units upside, 5 units downside. You cannot write 7 comma 5 because 7 is not there in this graph paper. If you have a big graph paper, you can write it. Actually, in space, you can write any length. It can go to plus infinity to minus infinity, plus infinity to minus infinity, z-axis plus infinity to minus infinity, in 3 dimensions you can go. But presently, when you are taking a graph sheet of 5:5, you have created your own, then you write it like that. And you can create your own questions. There are so many points. Sorry, I just missed it. I was saying something. Okay, we come to a point. So point number 1 is to locate something on a plane. First we have to specify one origin. From origin, if you draw some length, that length will be there throughout that circle. So everyone will be at the same distance on a circle. So specific point, if you want, you need a cross kind of a mark. So we need to, like I already told you, on earth equator and longitude, both latitudes and longitudes. So they have to cross each other. Like that only we create latitudes and longitudes, horizontal and vertical lines mutually perpendicular to each other. We mark something as plus axis, one thing as automatically minus x axis, plus y, minus y. Specific points we can find it out. This is the way of plotting the points. This is the first case. Yeah, I cleared some portion of the board. Now we have to do the reverse exercise. One is if somebody says 2 comma 2, that is x distance from y axis is 2, y distance from x axis is 2, this is abscissa, this is ordinate, you should be able to locate that point A. Suppose here 1, 2, 1, 2, this was the point A. This is first process. The second process is if specifically give some point and they say that that point is say P. You should be able to tell where is it. So let us see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 4 comma 4. This is the second part. You should be able to, if they give coordinate, you should be able to find out a point. If they give a point, you should be able to find out the coordinate. Actually, they are not separable. Point is nothing but coordinate for us in here. So the coordinate here, PQ, R, S, T. Now we have to write them. Q, R, S, T. Shall we try in all the quadrant possible? So what is Q? This is Q. So from origin 1, 2, 1, 2. So obviously it is 2 comma minus 2. Why? X axis is positive, y axis is negative. This R already we have written previously, so we will write it somewhere here. This is the R. Now what is R? You have to come left, minus 1, 1, 2, 3, down, minus 3, minus 1 comma minus 3. See that what you are writing now, try to be very careful, useful in future for vectors chapter. In first year of intermediate, they introduced concept of vectors. So that line, if at all I draw from here to here, this point is called x component, this point is called y component. So while writing components also, this introductory course on coordinate geometry will be useful. Being a physics teacher, why I am introducing coordinate geometry? Because I actually need it. I don't need a coordinate geometry as such, I need vectors more. So if you understand this, it will be easy for me to connect you with the vectors. Because in physics, the quantities which have magnitude and direction, they are called vectors. There we'll talk about a lot of things. The student who is weak in vectors is obviously weak in physics. So that part we will do later on. Now we identify the point S. Where is S? S is here. 1, 2 minus 1, 2 plus minus 2 comma 2. What is this point? 1 unit negative, 1, 2, 3, 4 units positive. So now again you can go on, put the points R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. So many points you can write it and practice it. So just I told you 1000 problems. No, in that way you can create 1000 problems or more than that very easily. Point is, first point, this is anyhow, you may think that sir you are telling very easier things, but definitely easier things, but it is an introductory level. What is abscissa, what is ordinate, why we are doing like that, why we need a crossing point, these all things are required. And this kind of a graph sheet is called Cartesian graph sheet. In future you will also learn this kind of a graph sheet where circles of increasing sides will be there. That's called polar form. This is called Cartesian form, this is called polar form, in which we tell the same thing with a length and angle. Length and angle. This is also required when we deal with circular motion. This is required while dealing with linear motions. Okay, why we are studying maths? Maths is always designed for the sake of some other subject. Maths is like language to talk about sciences. So here we are doing coordinate geometry. It is having a purpose. That purpose is location of points. This again we will find so many things using coordinate geometry, and we will extend it to vectors. So many things we do it. It is having a proper channelized approach. So introduction is very important. Identifying the points is very important. Yeah. Now the another enterprise is, suppose you are going from one point to other point in a graph paper. Can you know direct length between those 2 points is a question. This can be answered with the aid of plane geometry and a combination of this. So let me write one right angle triangle in which this angle is 90 degrees. This angle I call theta. It's a way of representing the things. If you have in trigonometry learn that word, but anyhow this angle I call it as theta. For this theta this is opposite side, for this theta this is adjacent side. This point, the way we are located first coordinate x1 y1, this point is x2 y2. Now I want direct length, I don't want these things. So what could I do is, this value is y2 and this value is y1. This value is x2, this value is x1. If I get this length and this length, this length and this length, using Pythagoras theorem I can find this length. My interest is this, my interest is hypotenuse. So hypotenuse square is equal to opposite square plus adjacent square, which is Pythagoras theorem. And required length is hypotenuse for me, distance between the points, that is equal to this square plus this square. Now I want only the required length and I represent it as distance between the points d, that is equal to square of this plus square of this under root, because this square goes to the other side. Now we will be finding the point between any two values. Let us write v and u. D between v and u. First you should write v in terms of coordinates. What is v? From 0 you have started, so you have to come down 1, 1. So minus, see, okay, x-axis first, 1, 1. So 1 comma minus 1. U, you have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 4 comma minus 1. Now distance formula we apply. Distance is equal to under root of, if you call this as x1, y1 and this you call it as x2, y2. I took slant line here, I took straight line, I'll explain to you, don't worry. This is 4 minus 1 whole square plus minus 1 minus of minus 1 whole square. That is 4 minus 1 is 3 square plus 0 square. That is equal to 3. So this distance is 3. You see it from here to here 1, from here to here 2, from here to here 3. So this is distance is 3 units. You may ask, sir, why you have done all those things when you can directly note it down? Yes, I can note it down, but I want you to feel the subject, what it is wanted to tell you. What, take a screenshot or do this problem. So now I am finding distance between other 2 points, V and W. V and W. I have to write V and W, both of them in coordinate form. This 1 minus 1. 1 comma minus 1. What is W? 1, 2. 2 along x-axis, nothing along y-axis. Now distance is equal to, see, some teachers tell that there are short tricks. There are nothing short tricks. This procedure is to be common for everyone. We want a length, that is hypotenuse, then I square opposite and adjacent, and this is permitted by Pythagoras theorem. Using that I derived a formula for coordinates. Now what is the short trick? Subtract already. 2 minus 1 is 1 whole square. 0 minus of minus 1. 0 minus of minus 1. Do it mentally. That is plus 1 whole square. So it is root 2. 1 square plus 1 square. So this, sometimes teachers tell it as a shortcut, but actually shortcuts don't exist. Actually shortcuts don't exist. Only thing is, when you practice more and more, this point many people don't understand, except the top learners, those who continuously practice problems. Many other students, they don't understand the importance of practice, whether it goes right or wrong. Continuously when you are going on doing problems, what happens is some parts you mentally can skip off. Now see how much quickly I do. Suppose I want distance between the points S and Q. Okay, or S and Y. So distance between S and Y is, see here, first what is the x value of x? S, 1, 2, x. Similarly, what is the distance of y? 1, 2. This is minus 2, that is plus 2. Minus 2 minus of plus 2 whole square plus y coordinate. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 4 minus 2 whole square. Under root. So, this can be called as a short trick? Means no, absolutely no. Why? Because we have done all these things and we kept in mind, and final formula we used, that too without writing the formula we used. This cannot be called as a short trick. This only thing is we have swallowed the steps which are to be presented. So now if the same problem I do it here, some more other things I can find it out. In some other problem I'll do it. Distance between U and A. First, distance between U and A, that is equal to under root of, first write U here itself. U is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 4 comma minus 1. 4 plus units down minus. And A is this 2 comma 2 which you have previously written. Now 4 minus 2, 2 square. Minus 1 minus of minus 2. Minus 1 minus 2, that is minus 3 whole square. 4 plus 9, root 13. So this distance from here to here, this length will be root 13. If at all you use scale and find it, this will be 13, but actually it is 27. Answer should come root 13, so that something will be 3 and 4 in between. So something between 3.5 approximately it should come, but it is coming 27. Why with a proper scale we are getting 27, and why when you solved the problem we got 3.5 centimeters? The answer is so simple. Previously we got here to here, here to here, here to as 3 centimeters. Now I see how much it is. It is 21 centimeters. That means this is not a graph paper. This is some squares you have drawn and you are finding. Suppose you take proper a graph paper where it has been properly calibrated. That means first you have to take the graph paper and the scale, and you have to check that whether this centimeters on the scale and that centimeters on the graph paper are same. Obviously they will be same because it's a standard format. Then that particular length what you have calculated and what you have measured comes same. There the both geometries match. Coordinate geometry and the real geometry will match there. So don't worry, by measuring this length on the board it is coming out to be 27 centimeters, but when you have calculated we got 3.5 centimeters. The answer is so simple. This is not a graph paper, this is not 1 centimeter, then obviously I don't get the distance to be 3.5 centimeters. This, in the beginning when you do like this, also do it on the graph paper and check the lengths. You will get a lot of satisfaction. Now coming to this 1000 problems again. How can we increase? Like first putting points A, B, C, D, E, then recognizing points 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 3 like that. Next, so many problems you can do it. Now we can find distance between any 2 points. SA, ST, SP, SU, SW, SV, VQ, VW, VU, VR, RQ. Like that you can put as many points as you want. Just arbitrary, don't even need to name a point. Here you point, put 1 point, here you point, and find this distance. And this distance you can there is no trick, but I can even tell you the trick here. This square, 3 unit square, this square, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 square. 3 square plus 6 square under root. That is the length of the line. But we are not supposed to do like that. You have to first find out the coordinates and do it with it. If you want to solve the problem with coordinate geometry, first identify the points. Each point has x1, y1, other point has x2, y2, any 2 points. Then x2 minus x1 gives you the x length or the adjacent length, and y2 minus y gives you opposite length if at all you take theta with respect to x-axis. Then that length, hypotenuse, whatever is there, that square you get it using Pythagoras theorem. This is the base idea for finding distance between 2 points. Now you can tell how many problems you can create on this. Any 2 points, any 2 points, any 2 points, any 2 points, any 2 points. Even I told you in between points are also acceptable. Suppose I take this point, this is half comma half or 0.5 comma 0.5. But here we are specifically taking the intersecting points. Even in between points also exist. Yeah. The fourth enterprise, what you can do with coordinate geometry, locating points, identifying points. Locating point means 2, 3, where is it? If at all I put a point A, that point, what is the number related to that? 5, 6, like that. Next is finding distance between any 2 points. Next comes slope. First we will try to understand the literal meaning of slope, then we understand the mathematical meaning of slope. Literally, if at all I keep one line like this, then we say that there is no slope. Suppose you are going Tirupati kind of things, then we say that road is having high slope. So you have increased it. Now, if you increase this angle, we say that its slope is there, less slope. This is slope. This is more slope. Slope is nothing but the inclination with the horizontal here in literal meanings. So, this line which is vertically standing like this, it has infinite slope. Just to fit into the definition we are given, first of all, we don't define infinite slope. Something is vertically straight like this, we don't say that it is slopy. But to fit into the description, if at all we call these things as slope, that one, the extreme part, we call it as infinite slope. This one we call zero slope. So literally we can say no slope. Mathematically we say zero slope. This is highest slope, or you can say infinite slope. So slope is an important concept which will creep into a lot of other things in future. Even in calculus, that word is continuously used, slope, 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 slope. So first we define slope. Slope is defined as rise by run of a line. So if a line goes like this, how much it has risen for a given run. So if at all long run and short rise, long run, short rise is small slope. Short run, long rise. Short run, long rise is more slope. So slope is a ratio between rise and run. Slope is a ratio between rise and run. So here rise is what? In this you can see. It is y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Suppose I draw a line somewhere. Suppose I want to draw a line between Q and U like this. Now I want slope of this line. First I should write Q. What is Q? 1, 2, 1, 2. So 2 comma minus 2. So once I write this point and this point, I write one point as x1, y1, other point as x2, y2. Subtract y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1 and divide. That ratio, whatever it comes, you answer it as a slope. The other person will automatically understand. If he is also common to you, common to the subject, what is you are told to him, that ratio value, if I tell that slope of a line is 2, he will understand what is the meant by 2. And if I tell 2, it understood that rise is double that of run. Now if I increase the rise and run, it may become 4 and this will become 2. 2 by 1 and 4 by 2 is same. Like that, if you continuously increase, slope remains fixed. Slope remains fixed. If you are going on increasing the length along the hypotenuse, then this rise, run, rise, rise, run, run, rise, run, rise. This ratio, this ratio, this ratio, this ratio remains same because they are all similar triangles. This angle is common, this angle is 90 degrees. Angle, angle, angle property. And these angles are corresponding angles. So with angle, angle, angle property, I can prove that they are similar triangles. So this by this, this by this, this by this remains same, that ratio. So this is the concept of slope. Now what we can do is we can find slope of few lines. Let me do slope of line. Slope is represented by symbol m. To give a continuity, I'll also tell that this is also equal to opposite by adjacent, as previously written. This can be even connected to trigonometry. In trigonometry, we have 6 ratios: sine, cos, tan, cot, secant, cosecant. Obviously, teachers do coordinate geometry first, trigonometry later. So student may not know that. The length of opposite side by adjacent side is called tan theta in trigonometry. So now, mathematically we define. First I told you slope is nothing but inclination. Now I am trying to put it into mathematics. So before putting into mathematics, common sense we used it, and we told rise by run as slope. In coordinate geometry, both the points will be in x1, y1, x2, y2 form. So y2 minus y1 gives you the opposite side, x2 minus x1 gives you adjacent side. Rise by run we get it. That we represent with the letters m. This even can be connected to trigonometry by taking this length as opposite and adjacent for the theta. For theta this is opposite, this is adjacent, and that can be written as tan theta. Okay, this portion now you don't need to continue because this topic is introduction to coordinate geometry. This can be learnt in future, used in future, but don't skip away. Now slope of the line QU. Slope of the line QU. First y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. What is y1, y2 in this? Y2 is minus 1, minus 2. Minus 1 minus of minus 2 divided by x2 minus x1. This is 4, 2. 4 minus 2. So slope, what is this? Plus 2 minus 1 plus 1, or okay, minus 1 plus 2 by 2. So this is half. That means rise is half times of the run. Rise is half times of the run. That we understood. Now we'll try to do the same problem by exchanging the coordinates. So which was x1, y1, I write it as x2, y2. Which has x2, y2, I write it as x1, y1. Previously this was x1, y1, this was x2, y2. Now I am writing this as x2, y2 and this as x1, y1. Let us see now. y2 minus y1. What is y2? Minus 2 minus of minus 1 by x2 minus x1. x2 is 2 minus 4. What happens? Minus 2 plus 1 by 2 minus 4. That comes out to be, minus 1 by minus 2. Minus 1 by minus 2, you can cancel off, you get half. So now we are very lucky. Any point can be called as x1, y1, any point can be called as x2, y2. That algebra will take care of it. So previously you got both the numerator and denominator positive values and answer is plus half. Now both the numerator and denominator got negative values, but final answer is same. So don't need to worry, student, generally beginner, if at all you are there. Then when I was a 10th class student in 1994, I used to get confused which one to be taken as x1, y1, which one to be taken as x2, y2. Don't worry at all. Both the ways you will get the same thing. Suppose I want a if at all you have inclination like this, above if you make it, that is positive slope. If you go down to the x-axis like this, that is called negative slope. Let us find one problem of negative slope. So consciously we take a line which is downward, inclined downward, not inclined upward. So I have to take some points. Let me take S and W. S and Y is a positive slope, S and A is zero slope, S and Z is infinite slope. I repeat, S and Y positive slope, S and A zero slope, S and Z infinite slope, S and T is higher slope than SY. So this is a negative slope. Let me put the points. What is S? 1, 2 left units, minus 2, 1, 2 positive units, 2. And what is W? 1, 2, 2, 0. Now the question is, which is to be taken as x1, y1, which is to be taken as x2, y2. Already we told anything can be taken as x1, y1, anything can be taken as x2, y2. I take this 2 minus of minus 2 divided by, but once you have taken this is x2, it should be y2 only. You cannot take this as y2. So x2, y2, second one. 0, we made a silly mistake here. You see here, we divided x coordinates first. No, you have to divide x, y coordinates first. 0, minus 2. Next, 2 minus of minus 2. So it is minus 2 divided by 4 plus 4 minus half. Slope is rise to the run is negative half. This is the rise, but upward is positive rise, downward is negative rise. And run is 1, 2, 3, 4 units, 2 units. So rise by run is half, but it is minus half. That means rise by run is happening downward. So rise, opposite to the rise is what? Fall. Opposite to rise is fall. So this kind of thing is negative slope. So if a line is like this, horizontal, zero slope, more and more and more and more, and this is infinite slope. So, and once you come, this is negative slope, negative slope, negative slope, like that. Now which is more negative? You see the rise and fall. So for a given run, fall is more here. So this is more negative slope. This is less negative slope. So slope can be more or less depending on rise and run ratio. And in future you connect this to trigonometric ratios also and to the calculus. Yeah, again we have to come back to this word 1000 problems. Identifying points, locating points, finding distance between the points, finding slope. How many slopes you can find? Slope with a line between WP, AP. You need 2 points to draw a line. PT, ZT, TS, SP, SA, SW, SV, VU, VQ, QU, UV, UW, UX, UA. Like that you have to find slopes. Again, you get a bunch of problems, innumerable number of problems. Not only these points, you can have any point from anywhere to anywhere. Put a point, draw a line, find slope. Put a point, draw a line, find slope. In this way you can practice. This I told you, this number 1000 problems in within 1 hour or 1000 problems in the introductory course of coordinate geometry appear silly to you, but actually you can do them. Concepts we are learning. Problems I told you, concepts are limited, problems are unlimited. How to find? Can I take any point as x1, y1, x2, y2? Yes, that is true. Then finding point, if you can locate the points and name them with 2, 2, 3, 3, x1, y1, x2, y2, you can find distances, you can find slopes. Yeah, next part of coordinate geometry is finding the section formula. Derivation, I'm wantedly avoiding here. You can go through any elementary textbook, you will find the derivation, but I will try to explain what is a section. For example, you have 2 towns. This has 500 population, this has 1700 population. So they wanted to erect a cell tower such that more people are using here, they want the tower to be here. So they want in that ratio to divide. So this distance should be 17:5. 5:17. More people should be at nearer distance, less people should be at more distance. Like that they wanted to erect a tower. They want to locate a point which is 5 kilometers from here and 17 kilometers from there. In that ratio it is there, not even kilometers, that ratio it is there. So how to find? There is a formula or a procedure that I am trying to explain now. So you already have 2 points, say A and B, and you know how to locate them, x1, y1 and x2, y2, and in between we wanted a point. This crosses a point P and whose coordinates we are going to find out. So generally we don't write A equal to, just write P, this point I want. This is one value, this is one number, this is other number. How to find that number? Many of the textbooks they tell this ratio as m:n, but it is not rhythmic to learn for the students. So instead of m:n, read it as m1 and m2. So this is m1 and that is m2. m1 should be nearer x1, y1, m2 should be nearer x2, y2. Then your formula is m2 x1 plus m1 x2 by m1 plus m2, m2 y1. So 1, 2, 2, 1 will come in the numerator. It is easy and rhythmic for anybody to learn. You may ask, why don't it be m1 x1, m2 x2 like that? But it's not true. So this part comes here, this part comes there. So the segment which is nearer to m1 is x1, y1, the segment nearer m2 is x2, y2. This kind of a formula you remember. Now I have 2 points. This is 3, 2 and I go a little longer distance, 20, 14, something like that, 20, 30, like this. Now I want a point P between this A and B such that this distance and this distance are in the ratio 3:7. 3:7. Then you use the formula. This is x1 y1, this is m1. This is x2 y2, this is m2. Now apply the formula. That point P of interest will be two words with a comma in between, two numbers with a comma in between. So this one is m1 3 into 3, m2 x1, m2 x1 7 into 3 plus, I am using that formula, 7 into 3 plus m2 x1 plus m1 x2, m1 this is 3 into this, 3 into 20 divided by m1 plus m2, 3 plus 7. Next, the other point is what? m2 y1 7 into 2 plus m1 y2, m1 is this 3 into 30 by m1 plus m2, 3 plus 7. So now 7 3 are 21, 60, 10 comma 7 2 are 14 plus 90 by 10, 21 plus 60, 81 by 10, 8.1. You want me to do it? Okay. 81 by 10, comma 14 plus 90, 104 by 10. So the point of interest P is 81 by 10, 8.1, 104 by 10, 10.4. So now 320, so this number is between them. 230, this number is in between them. So we have found out a proper section formula. And also you should remember that ratio 3:7. So 3 is nearer to the, so the value 3 units and 7 units. 7 units is long, 3 units is short. So this number 8 should be nearer to 3 and far away from 20. This number 10.4 should be nearer to 2 and far away from 30, because the section is dividing. Here it should be nearer, it should be far away. So if you subtract 8.1 minus 3 and 8.1 minus 20, this difference should come more. This difference should come less. Try to repeat this 3-4 minutes of lecture repeatedly and try to understand what I wanted to say. So I am wanting a point between 2 points. I am wanting a point between 2 points such that that point cuts it in one particular ratio. Now, can it be done little more faster? I told you, some teachers tell you that there is a short trick and so many things. No short trick. Remove this. Now do it fastly. Forget, don't write m1, m2 and all. x1, x2, y1, y2. After a severe practice, initially you do with points, now you do quickly. 7 into 3 plus 3 into 20 divided by 3 plus 7, 10, comma. Next, I done x, now y. 7 into 2 plus 3 into 30 by 3 plus 7. Get the answer. Now you want some more short trick. Actually short trick don't exist, I told you many times. 3 plus 7 is 10. Denominators are known, 10 and 10. I told you one problem, if you do more number of times, automatically you understand shortcut. There is no shortcut. Swallowing steps itself is shortcut. So now 7 3s are 21 plus 3 20s are 60. 7 2s are 14. 3 30s are 90. Even that also if you want to swallow, and actually professional students and those who are very strong in mathematics, they even can do this also in the mathematically in brain. Yeah, sorry for the disturbance. So this way you can do. Very quickly it happens, and whatever answer you got, 81 by 10, 8.1, 104 by 10, 10.4. We have actually not done short trick, we have swallowed it. So my request to the students, those who are seeing this video, is this derivation You try to see and try to understand and learn from an elementary book of 10th class, 11th class, like that. There you will understand how the derivation happens. But try to understand the gist of this. What is the gist of this means? Section formula. You have 2 points. You wanted to find in between one point such that it divides both in certain ratio. Certain means that somebody has to give it or you need it. So again I put 2 more points. Wantedly I am taking on x-axis, say 2, 0 and 10, 0. So y-axis I didn't made it travel. I want a point. So this is what 2 and 10. Difference is 8. I want a point which cuts in 3:5 ratio. In 3:5 ratio. So obviously this 3, whatever it comes, just see it. I have a point. This is origin somewhere 0, 0. I am not interested about that. This is point A. This is point P. This is M1. This is M2. Now how to do it quickly? I told you, try to avoid writing x1, y1, x2, y2. So 5 2s are 10 plus 3 10s are 30 by 5 plus 3 8, comma 5 zeros are 0, 3 5s are 0 by 8. This is 10 plus 30, 40 by 8, comma 0. 8 1s are 8 5s are. So this point is 5, 0. Now you see 2, एक के बाद 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units here. 1, 2, 3 units here. So it is dividing this point called 5, 0 is dividing it in that ratio. In that ratio. Yeah, we continue here. We want a point in between such that this is equidistant for both. Equidistant means this distance and distance should be same. So 1 and 1. It should be 1:1 ratio. Or 2:2 ratio. What is happened? 2:2 is it comes as 1 and 1. So 1 into 2 plus this 1 into 10 by 1 plus 1, comma this 1 into 0 plus this 1 into this 0 by 1 plus 1. That comes out to be what? 2 1s are 2 plus 10. 12 by 2, 0. 6, 0. So that point is 6, 0. 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 units. So it is divided 4:4. This length is 4 and this length is 4. 4 centimeters and 4 centimeters divided. The ratio is 1:1. This way you can find midpoint also. But to find the midpoint, we can create one more formula which can do this very quickly. In this we have M1, M2 and they take both of them as same. M1 is to M1 or M is to M. So in this numerator, M x1 plus M x2 by M common here, 1 plus 1, comma here also M common, y1, sorry, M y1 plus M y2 by M plus M. Here also I write M plus M. Now in the numerator take M common. M x1 plus x2 by M common in denominator 1 plus 1, comma M common in this y1 plus y2 by M common 1 plus 1. So M gets cancelled, M gets cancelled. Midpoint formula is x1 plus x2 by 2, comma y1 plus y2 by 2. So now in this you want to do this plus this by 2, 2 plus 10 by 2 plus, comma this plus this by 2, 0 plus 0 by 2, 12 by 2, comma 0 by 2, 6, 0. Same thing you will get it. Now you can have one more formula. If at all you don't want certain ratio and you want it to be the midpoint, the formula for the midpoint is, if you know this coordinate and this coordinate, sum of x coordinate divided by 2, sum of y coordinate divided by 2. That will give you the midpoint. So now in section formula how many you can do? Previously we had a 10 by 10 graph sheet. You can put any 2 points anywhere as you like, and find you can create one more point somewhere in between, and you may ask this certain ratio I want it. Like that you can create innumerable number of problems coming back to this 1000 problems. Or if you have already 3 points along a straight line, you wanted to know this and this ratio, find this distance, divide it. That will give you the ratio. Distance you have to find and find that. Here we are not finding distances. Distances are given, we are finding the point. If points are given, this point are given. Now you want this ratio m1, m2. This distance divided by this distance, you will get the ratio. Midpoint, x1 plus x2 by 2, y1 plus y2 by 2. So this is the things which we have done till now in the coordinate geometry. This is an introductory course. You should be able to pinpointedly locate a point. Suppose I write 2, 5. You should be able to locate on a graph sheet by taking the origin and x-axis and y-axis. Next, if I put a point, I write somewhere and P, I write it. You should be able to write it as 5, 7 like that. That you should be doing. That is the first part. Second part is you should be able to find distance between any 2 points. x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square under root. Next is you should be able to find slope, rise by run, y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. In that, anything can be taken as x1 y1, another thing can be taken as x2 y2. Now we have 2 points in between. If you put 1 point such that this length and this length are in certain ratio, that certain ratio teacher will give you or paper setter will give you. According to that ratio, which point is suitable point which will cut that in that ratio, that is m2 x1 plus m1 x2 by m1 plus m2. Next is finding midpoint. If you have 2 points, you have x1, y1, x2, y2. x1 plus x2 by 2 will be the x coordinate of the midpoint. y1 plus y2 by 2 is a y coordinate of the midpoint. Like that you can find midpoint. And if you wanted to, if 3 points are known, you want to know what is the ratio. This distance you separately find out by x2 minus x1 plus y2 minus y1 whole square under root. This distance you find it same way. Divide the 2, you will get the ratio. You can recheck. You can give the ratio and find the distances. You can find the distances and give the ratio. So many things you can play with it. So what else you can find in coordinate geometry? Yeah, can we find equation of a line? Can we find equation of a line? If you know 2 points, if you draw a straight line between the points, that line equation. So what we can do is, any one point we take it as x1, y1, the other point is xy. Why? Because everywhere slope remains same. This angle, rise by run remains same. So slope is same. This point is xy. That can be any point anywhere on the line. So we have slope formula m is equal to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. y2 and y2 and x2 I took it as y and x minus y1 x1. So if I write like this, I get y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. So if I know the slope, then I can find the equation of a line. Y and y1, x1, y1 are known. Say 2, 3 is known to me. Now if at all, even that, if you don't know the slope, what can be done? We can find out the slope by writing one more point, known point, say x2, y2. See 4, 7. So by knowing 2 points, we know the slope. So y minus y1, let us see that slope is known means you use this formula. Slope is not known. To find equation of a line, y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1 into x minus x1. This way we can find equation of line. Why do we take new line? This only we take. Say I want a line which is passing through the points 2, 3 and 4, 7. Can I find the equation of a line? Y minus y1 3. Find the slope y2 minus y1. 7 minus 3 by x2 minus x1. 4 minus 2 into x. This x is a point, x and y is a point, satisfy full line. Minus x1 2. Y minus 3 is equal to 7 minus 3. 4. 4 minus 2. 2. 2 ones are 2. 2s are x minus 2. Y minus 3 is equal to 2x minus 4. 2 2s are 4. So y is equal to 2x sorry, minus 3 goes there, plus 3, minus 1. This is another standard formula is there for line equation, that's called y is equal to mx plus c. This coefficient of, once the coefficient of y is 1 and coefficient of x, this anyhow it comes in straight lines chapter, better to avoid it. This is called slope, this is called y-intercept. So wherever it cuts the y-axis, actually this line going to cut the y-axis at minus 1, that's the meaning of it. So this, if I continue here, it will be a troublesome for you. There is a separate chapter called straight lines, there you will understand it. Our target is using coordinate geometry. What else you can find? We can find equation of a line. How to find equation of a line? There is a formula for it. If you know 2 points, x1 y1 and x2 y2, this is the formula. Y minus y1 is equal to m, which is y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1 into x minus x1. Using this formula, you will get some equation of this form, y is equal to 2x minus 1 form, which is the equation for that line. So every point on that line satisfies this equation. Let us put and check. Suppose I want this point, I want to see whether this satisfies or not. 3 is equal to 2 into 2 minus 1. 3 is equal to 4 minus 3. True. Let us take this point 4 comma 7. Y is equal to 2x minus 1. Y is 7 is equal to 2 into x. X is what in that case? x2 y2 you can take 1 point. 4 minus 1. 7 is equal to 8 minus 1. 7 is equal to 7. So every point on this line satisfies this equation. So line equation, whatever we have found out now, y is equal to 2x minus 1 is applicable for all points on that line. Line is a locus of several points. It's a straight line and this is the equation of a straight line. This satisfies every point on that. This also you can keep in brain. And in future we will do a separate chapter called straight lines in mathematics. There more details you will understand. But here, by knowing 2 points, can you find equation of a line? Yes. By knowing 1 point and slope, can you find? Yes. 1 point is y1 x1, x1 y1, 1 slope. Write it. You will get the equation of a line. Yeah. Next part is, can we find area of triangle? So when they give 3 points in a plane and this is x1 y1 x2 y2 x3 y3, they will form a triangle. If they are not in a straight line, they will form a triangle. Can we find perimeter and area of a triangle? Perimeter is easy. This is x1 y1, this is x2 y2, this is x3 y3. Subtract this, that is find distance between these two, distance between these two, distance between these two. 3 distances you add it, you will get the perimeter. Or if you know one distance, and if you can know what is base and what is height, for example this is base, you have to drop a perpendicular. If you know that this height, if you know, you can use half into base into height. But if at all triangle is given where base is, any one of them can be taken as base, but any one of them cannot be taken as a height. So in that case we cannot use this formula half into base into height here. Perimeter we can find, distance between these two, distance between these two, distance between these two, sum them. So how to find area? First we'll go with a algorithmic procedure. In future you are going to learn in matrices this kind of things. You write it, row you write AB, other row you write CD. There is called AD minus BC technique. Suppose you are multiplying like this, that's called, in det methods they will teach you. We will find the original procedure first. This into this AD, when you are going up, when you are coming down you call it as plus, when you are going up it is minus. AD minus BC. Whatever may be the number, it can be positive number, means you take positive integer, and if it is negative integer, take it negative integer. So now if you have 3 points, x1 y1 x2 y2 x3 y3, any point can be taken, x1 y1, any point you can take anything, but once you take, fix it until the problem is over. So x1 y1 x2 y2 x3 y3 x4 y4. Fourth point don't exist, so repeat that point. So A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, like that you have to take as sets like that. So half into coming down plus going up minus x1 y2 minus x2 y1, x1 y2 minus x2 y1, this part is over, plus x2 y3 x3 y2 coming down plus going up minus, plus x3 y1 x1 y3. Third thing we have done. So this is one way of remembering the thing. Otherwise you can write like this: x1 y1, x2 y2, x3 y3, mali x1 y1. Coming down, coming down, coming down. All are positive quantities. Don't worry about negative quantities. x1 y2, x2 y3, x3 y1. x1 y2 plus x2 y3 plus x3 y1. So what we have done is we have taken the first term, which is positive one side. Negative term, we have taken other side by negative sign common. That even you can do it in this: x1 y2, x2 y3, x3 y1. Going back negative: x1 y3, x3 y2, x2 y1, x2 y1. These are negative terms. So 1 2 1 2 1 2 like this you can do, or 1 1 1 then 2 2 2 like that you can do anyway. But here we have three brackets with multiplication, subtraction, then addition. Here we have multiplication, addition, then subtraction. This is little easier, second part. Third part is much easy. If you take x1 common in both of them, x2 common in both of them, and x3 common in both of them, we can have a rotate kind of a formula which you can easily remember. How to remember the triangle formula? Half, for triangles only, half x1, x2, x3 outside the brackets. Inside the brackets already 1 is gone, so you can remember it. See, it's only a remembering technique. You write y1, y2, y3. Already first part is x1 is you taken, then y2 minus y3 plus x2 into this y3. 2 is there, other will be 3 and 1. 3 minus 1. Don't do 1 minus 3 because the formula has been derived properly. Then next is third, y1 minus y2. You cannot do y2 minus y1. This is the proper thing. Here you are given freedom to take x1 y1, x2 y2, x3 y3, anything. You can take this as x1 y1, this x2 y2, this x3 y3. But still the procedure of doing, you are not supposed to change the order here. You cannot write y2 minus y1 there because it's not a mod quantity. Now let us do a problem and check whether we are doing it, getting or not. See, I call this as x1 y1, this is x2 y2, this is x3 y3. I have taken three numbers. So now let us apply the formula. Area half x1 0. You don't need to do the something else. Why? Because even if you do y2 minus y3, it is of no use for us because already they are taken outside 0. Plus x2 is this 3. You have to take it into. Once you have taken x2, what are the other things? 3 and 1. y3 minus y1. y3 is 4, y1 is 0. 4 minus 0 plus, what else? This is 0. 0 into something. No need to find. Once it is 0, you don't need to find that. So half, this is 0 plus 3 4s are 12 plus 0. Half into 12. 6 units. Now let us create a triangle and check whether it is correct or not. This is a triangle. Half, this is base, 3 units. This is height, which is 4 units. 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 4 means that only. Half into 3 into 4, base into height. You may ask how you are taken. This is perpendicular. So this can be taken as base, this can be taken as height, this can be taken as base, this can be taken as height. But if you have a triangle of this form, if you take this as base, what is height? Do you know this is 90 degrees confirmly? If you don't know, you are not supposed to take height. Height is something to be taken perpendicularly. So 2 1s are 2 4s, 2 2s are 2 3s are 6 units. So formula is working. Formula is working. Even you can do it like this or any other form. Answer comes same. Let us write 3 coordinates. No need to worry whether which is x1 y1, which is x2 y2. Blindly we will do it in first method. 0 0 0 4 3 0 0 0. You have to repeat the first again. Half into come down 4 0 4s are 4 0 0 0 0. So first part is 0 plus next AD minus BC. Mali AD minus BC 0 minus 12 0 minus 12 plus AD minus BC 0. Something gone wrong. So there is some answer should come magnitude wise, answer comes same. 2 1s are 2 6s are 6 units. 6 square units. Area of a triangle cannot be negative. Area exists, no? So area of a triangle is positive. So in that way, you can take any three points and you can find the area of it. And finally you take mod of it, you will get the proper answer. But follow these three methods what I told. Any one of them. Don't learn all of them, learn any one of them. I feel this is quite easier because after subtracting you are multiplying, so number of terms get reduced. Multiply, subtract, add. Multiply, add, subtract. This is the two procedures. Here subtraction, after that multiplication. So it will be more simple because lot of data you have reduced it. So you can remember this as a formula. You can take any one point as x1, y1, any other point as x2, y2, any other point as x3, y3. Then execute this. In this way you can find area of a triangle. Now again coming back to this 1000 problems, how many problems you can do? 1000 problems. How? A, B, C, D, E, F, so many points are written. Any 3 points will join to form a triangle. Otherwise they are in straight line. That is the other case which we have discussed earlier. So once it forms a triangle, if at all you get the area of a triangle to be 0, then you can say that the points are collinear. See, once this point are in a straight line, they cannot form a triangle. Therefore they are collinear. Whenever they are collinear, area comes out to be 0. You can take any three points. You can create innumerable number of problems. Just to create a thumbnail kind of thing where student get more interest. Okay, within 1 hour I am doing 1000 problems, like that he may get into the video. But point is, there are more than 1000 problems here. So I am concluding it. 1 minute revision. First, coordinate geometry, apsis size, that is x distance measured from y axis, y distance measured from x axis, that's called ordinate. You have 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of things. If I write that, you should be able to locate in a graph sheet where they are. Next, if I tell one point somewhere, I write P or Q, you should be able to write its name. That is 5, 7, 7, minus 7, like that you should be able to write. Between 2 points, you should be able to find distance. y2 minus y1 whole square plus x2 minus x1 whole square, opposite and adjacent square you do it, you will get the hypotenuse square, which is the distance between the 2 points. Next, to slope of the line. Rise y2 minus y1 by run x2 minus x1. That will be connected into future trigonometry, and future also it will be connected to calculus. So take it very seriously. Slope of this line is 0, increasing, infinity. Downward line slope is negative. While taking slope, you can take any point as x1, y1, any point as x2, y2. The algebra will take care of it. Next is, if at all we have 2 points, in between you are interested in one point, this ratio is m1, this ratio is m2, then how to find that particular point of interest is m2 x1 plus m1 x2 by m1 plus m2, comma m2 y1 plus m1 y2 by m1 plus m2. Rhythmic way you have to learn it. And if at all the point is a midpoint, x1 plus x2 by 2, y1 plus y2 by 2. If you have 2 points known to you, x1, y1, x2, y2, can you find equation of a line? Y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1, where m is y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Next is the finding the area of a triangle. This is the formula, half into x1, x2, x3 outside. In bracket, 1 is gone, no, 2 and 3. 3 and 1, only 1 and 2. You have to follow proper setup. But you can take any 3 points, any one can be taken as x1, y1, any point can be taken as x2, y2, any point can be taken as x3, y3. You can get the answer. So this way you can find area of a triangle. Many more things you can do it. When you do, try to generalize it and try to remember the concept. And any problem they give in examination, try to get it. Similarly, can you find perimeter of a triangle? Yes. Distances. Next, can you prove that triangle to be equilateral? Means 3 sides, if this distance come equal, it's a equilateral triangle. 2 sides come equal, this isosceles triangle. Square of this side plus square of this side, whatever you have found out is equal to square of this side, then it is a right angle triangle. Whatever after finding, you got 3 answers. One length is root 17, other length is root 15, other length is root 3. Square and add, 17 whole square root gets cancelled, 15 plus 3. So it's not a right angle triangle because 15 plus 3 is 18. So you can find that. Can you find area of a square? Find this distance, find this distance. Once if it is a square mentioned, then multiply these two, because in square only one distance is enough. If it is a rectangle, then you find these 2 distances and multiply them. Next, if at all it's not a square, find the diagonals. Take 2 points, and if it is not a square, half d1, d2. d1, d2. Find diagonal distances, half d1, d2, you can do it. So what I am saying is, the advantage of once you learn the basics, how to find distance, how to find slope, how to find equation of a line, how to find area of a triangle, some small things. Then you can use the previous geometry what you learned in lower classes to find out the remaining things. It's all cumulative. First learning basic things is not cumulative. If you want what is abscissa, what is ordinate, telling that it cannot be called a cumulative thing. It's a basic thing. How the coordinate geometry is introduced, what is the plan of the the person who has introduced this chapter, that you have to first get into the proper mold.